Hey Cleveland, I'm Natalie Herbeck and we have an exciting show for you today. We are going to be stopping at 5 different emerging neighborhoods in and around Cleveland. We're going to begin here in Larchmere. It's a great walkable neighborhood right on the border there between Cleveland and Shaker Heights. And this is a place where you can come and you can shop, you can create and dine, which brings us to our first stop, which is right over my shoulder here. A place where you can taste the many flavors of Brazil.
The restaurant's name is Batuque, the flavor of Brazil. So that's what it is. It's the flavor of Brazil in Cleveland. The atmosphere here that we want people to feel is the same as if they were eating at home. We want them to walk into our house. This is our home and we want to make sure everybody feels welcome. Everything here is homemade cooking. Even from our little pastries in our appetizer menu, we have the little pastries called salgadinhos. The salgadinhos are handmade one by one. Everything here is like if grandma was making. It's basically fresh ingredients for sure. Ton of garlic, a ton of cilantro, onions, fresh parsley, peppers, coconut milk. A lot of the ingredients or a lot of the dishes here are more concentrated from 2 different regions. Brazilian food represents African American culture. It represents indigenous culture, European. So there's a little bit of everything. In our menu,
my favorite question.
Our top seller dish is our steak. We Brazilians are known to be meaty people. We eat a lot of meat, and definitely our picanha, our tri-tip cut steak. That's our number 1. And then our number 2 is the buqueca baiana.
What I have here is a incredibly traditional fish stew from the north of Brazil, from a state called Bahia. It's a stew with green peppers, onions, garlic. This color here is from palm oil, which, there you can immediately see the African influence. Fish stew with, peppers like in this, you can see the Mediterranean cooking techniques. You can use any white fish. In this case, it's tilapia. Throwing a little shrimp now. Traditionally, it's always served over rice.
I'm going to show you how to make a caipirinha, which is our national drink in Brazil. It's made by our national rum. It's made out of sugar cane, sugar, and fresh limes. And then you get about half of a lime, wedges or just cut into cubes. And I do 2 tablespoons of sugar. You can do less or you can do more. And just muddle that really, really well. Once that's done, we'll top it off with ice and the cachaça. Let's just shake it good. And it's done. This is good all year long, and they blend well with all of our food. As you all know, Anderson Varejão, Andy, he's Brazilian. He's been playing for the Cavs for a very long time, and he is a huge fan of our food. Our food is authentic. It's made with all the love from the bottom of our hearts. We just want to make sure that people really feel the love of Brazilians here in Cleveland through our food.
You are always going to feel like you're at home when you walk through the doors of Batuque. I love the name of this restaurant. Keep in mind, they are closed on Mondays.
It's called Fiddlehead Gallery, and this is Susan. And Susan, this is the kind of store I like because it's got a lot of it's got some strange items mixed in with the real artistic stuff, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I mean, what is that a possum or what is that thing here?
Most people come in and say, what is it? It's an albino raccoon.
Albino raccoon.
I was at the Natural History Museum for many years and got into rocks, minerals, bugs, beetles. So it kind of blended into the craft gallery background that I had.
So when you went off on your own, you sort of blended in a bit of that past.
I did.
You couldn't leave it behind.
I couldn't.
I know.
Science was great. The part of it that I learned at the museum was just fascinating, and it actually adds a nice element to the store when people are coming through. It's kind of like a tour through a museum when they come through.
Yeah, if you bring a kid in here, it'd be hard to keep their hands off this stuff. I mean, look at this little thing here. So I found this. Is this a toad or a frog?
It's a toad. It's the cane toad from Australia that doesn't have a natural predator, so they have to figure out things to do with it.
I'm pulling down the zipper. Check it out. It's a coin purse. That's pretty good. And you just stuff him in your pocket.
Yeah, leave his little legs sticking out.
I'll pay you for that later.
There you go.
Okay, so what else we got going on here? This looks like something that you see stuff like this in Mexico, in South America.
Guatemala, a number of beaded stuff. I do tend to do a lot of animals, bugs, you know, and then mixed it in with some local glass, metal, leather.
We got some pottery or ceramic over here.
Which is one of my favorite. I'm using it today.
I see that. I see that. I thought you were just doing it to keep your hands warm here.
Yes. No, I have heat here. We're doing good.
Hey, I tell you, I love your neighborhood, this Larchmere neighborhood. So you're on Larchmere, the corner 128th Street.
Yes.
Kendall's across the street. But there's all these great little antique stores and such. But you sort of bring something new and fresh to the neighborhood.
Well, you know, I really wanted to concentrate on a price point that was missing in the neighborhood. You know, and I'm back to the customer service where you come in and you actually have someone who carries on a conversation with you, finds out what you're really looking for, and the other part is just getting back into working in the neighborhood too.
I love the goofy stuff.
Yes, that's actually a potter from Toledo. It's lollipop pottery.
Crystals, that comes from your Natural History Museum past.
Minerals, fossils, some things, you know, all around the world.
Who doesn't like dinosaurs?
From Tajikistan.
Tajikistan.
Hand felted. So
this is great. So you find this stuff from all over the world. Boy, that is some Kyrgyzstan.
Most people can't spell it correctly.
Well, I was reading it. How's that? That's pretty good. But I love this too. Let me drag this out here.
Recycled, a lot of co-op, a lot of women-owned businesses.
Fair trade.
Yep.
What's something like this cost?
That's around $70. You know, they've got wallets and smaller pieces.
That's really nice.
I do a lot of cultural items. You know, I do. You know, I love a lot of texture, a lot of handcraft, almost like folk art, and you know, just things with texture. I was a fibers major, so it was nice to just kind of find a way to blend my passion with artisans that actually produce it.
Look at this. If you're in the cooking and entertaining, this is very nice too.
A little bone accent, batik bone, and olive wood. That's from Swahili.
So how long have you had the store?
A little over 3 years. I love it. I love the location. I love the community. It's really, you know, a lot of activities. We're trying to get festivals going year-round on the street to bring people out.
We keep talking about these emerging neighborhoods, and this Larchmere area is great. And if you really love like furniture, art, some great food.
All the services, the beauty and barber salons
Fiddlehead Gallery, yeah. Beautiful spot.
Yeah.
So ask for Susan when you come here because she's the only one here, right?
Yes.
How about that? I like it. Hey, coming up after the break, there's some more things to enjoy and discover here in Larchmere, and that's coming up.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. We are making one more stop here in Larchmere, and it's a place that will inspire your creativity.
We started decorative painting 17 years ago, but then we found out about Annie Sloan chalk paint 4.5 years ago, and we became a stockist, and that's what we do now. We mainly teach workshop and help people with their projects at home and how to repurpose furniture and all that. Chalk paint is a mineral-based paint. It's all water-based. You don't have to sand or prime your pieces that you paint before, which everyone's loving. So you just start painting.
You know, it's kind of a perfect paint to work with the actual imperfections of the piece already, so it kind of adds to it. It does everything. It paints everything. It paints leather, metal, fabric, cement. I mean, it's crazy. I was going to show you the two-color distressed look that is pretty popular. It's a nice way to get a real interesting look. This is the red that we put, and it's dry. I've already done that, and I'm just going to paint a second coat with duck egg, and I'm not going to really cover it perfectly. I mean, I'm going to use the fat that I may go back and sand those areas, so I don't want to cover it real carefully with the paint. Once it dries, I can go back and either sand it or just let that happen. I'm going to put a coat of wax on it. The wax is a protective coat. It's soft wax. It's what we do with it is we gently, really, you don't have to apply a lot of pressure. You just literally swirl it onto the piece until it's covered. It feels a little wet, a little damp. We take a cloth and wipe back any place where there's a little bit of excess. We wipe that off, and we're actually rubbing it into the paint. And that gives it a nice sheen, it gives it a nice coat. It's just a really, kind of brings the whole thing to life. The dark wax can go on right after that. And that brings out some of that darker just kind of brings out the cool carvings and all that kind of stuff that gives it a neat look. And again, you wipe it back with a rag, see how it sticks in there. And that just ages it and gives it kind of a really nice kind of vintage look. Brings out all the carving, so you see that. You can't make a mistake. That's what we always tell people. It's very user-friendly. It's, whatever happens, there's usually some way to fix it.
We always say it's more than paint because it really is more than paint. It is a passion. It has helped women get through cancer, divorces, deaths, you name it. It's a place women can go to just relax and be, alone with their paint and create something beautiful. We share our space with Karina Reimers, who owns the Housewarmings, and she has an amazing painting style. We loved the first time we saw her stuff. We just knew it would be a great fit for both of us. So she has her painted pieces that she brings in, she paints and sells. She pretty much does all custom colors because these colors can be mixed with each other to create new colors, and we show that in our workshops as well. But she just has an amazing style. Back here, Sue and I are doing custom work, workshops, and selling paint.
St. Clair Superior, the birthplace of another neighborhood? Well, it's sort of funny because this neighborhood really started, with this building over 100 years ago. And of course, this was the center of manufacturing for much of the country. Well, things went south, I should say, because of the Rust Belt kind of thing. You've heard of that, right? That was in the late 50s, early 60s. Well, guess what's happening here now? Rust Belt reclamation, a brand new place. Well, I feel like an explorer in the neighborhood, the emerging neighborhood here. I found Chase at a place called Rust Belt Reclamation, and that sort of plays into exactly what we're talking about here. We're talking about re-emerging neighborhoods, and you guys are almost like recycling neighborhoods, aren't you?
We are. Rust Belt Reclamation goes into old structures that are slated for demolition and repurposes those materials into commercial installations. So we make furniture and installations for commercial settings.
So every time I go down the street and I see an old building and it looks like it's abandoned, I wonder what's inside of it. But you go inside of it and then you find stuff.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to go into old structures that have a lot of history to them and repurpose those materials and give them a new life in an installation.
So I'm walking in here to meet Chase and I see a table out there. Beautiful table. It's got irregular shape and all that. And this is something that you guys sort of found and turned into something?
Yeah, that table that you're referring to specifically is a piece of windfall maple that was cut down by a power company that was going to end up in the landfill. We were able to repurpose that into a live edge table and really bring out the character when we finished it.
So one man's junk is another man's treasure.
So they say, yes.
And if you polish it enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're standing here. It looks like we're on the surface of Mars here or something.
Most of the things that you see in this room here are salvaged from the T&B foundry. They're old sand casting foundry patterns used in the casting of steel, and they're relics of Cleveland's industrial past. They're all solid mahogany and pine, although some of them look like they're built out of steel. They have a metallic paint on them.
Looks like a movie set to me.
Absolutely. So we repurpose some of these and make anything from mirrors to coffee tables to table bases out of them.
What would you do with something like that?
That might be a table base that we would mount a surface on top of and incorporate a custom fabricated steel fitting onto it to bring it up to a table height.
So Rust Belt Reclamation, who does all the work? You?
No, sir.
No?
I'm on the sales side of things, but we've got a crew of about 20 craftsmen down in the
Like
shop.
elves?
Not quite elves. They're highly skilled craftsmen. I guess an elf is similar to that. But,
Okay, let's go find out.
Yeah, let's go talk to them.
So this is the lumber yard from a ghost town here?
Somewhat of an old lumber yard. The material that you see here is our rough raw material. These are several barns that we tore down with the help of an Amish crew out in Hunting Valley. We were able to send our crates out, or bins out to the job site on a flatbed. They tore down the barns and denailed the material, and it showed up here as you see it. It's an example of the sort of scalable deconstruction that we're able of accomplishing. This material is currently drying. Once it's completely dry, we will cut everything to length and take it up to our ready raw inventory, and we can inject it into our inventory.
So the guys in the workshop, what they'll be doing is when they need certain pieces of wood to complete their project or whatever you guys design, they come down here and they pick out the perfect piece.
That's correct. They'll go into our ready raw inventory and pull out whatever material is specified on that particular project and process that and incorporate it into a surface, wall cladding, whatever it might be.
You guys have enough space here or what?
I think we're doing all right now. We have about 120,000 square feet, and we're almost full.
Well, we got our eyewear on because this is where the action is. And what kind of projects are the guys working on now?
These guys are processing material that's going to go to the Home Plate Club at Progressive Field. They're processing some structural beams that came out of the Morton Salt Mine in Fairport Harbor underneath Lake Erie. And those will be used as table bases for some surfaces that we're building as well.
So a lot of these things that are treasures that become even more beautiful treasures, a lot of stuff could have ended up in the landfill or something.
A large majority of the materials that we use were diverted from the landfill and would have ended up there if we hadn't gotten our hands on them.
I saw beautiful tables as I walked in. I saw some mirrors. I've seen some bar applications. A lot of great art pieces here. For people out there watching right now, like what are some of the pieces they may have seen around the city that you guys have done?
We did the corner bar at Progressive Field along the right field line.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. And we also did some work at the Brown Stadium, or First Energy Stadium. A lot of winking lizards around town, primarily commercial applications.
So when somebody sees a beautiful piece of woodwork and they know it's like something from the past remade for today, reclaimed, is there a seal or some kind of ID that people can look for?
That's right. So every product that we make comes with a wooden coin inlaid in the surface that states the address of the salvage location. We like to embrace the history of the materials that we use and enable people to really understand that history and appreciate it.
I tell you, you got a beautiful job, man. It's like being a treasure hunter in a modern day world.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you very much. Rust Belt Reclamation, Chase, love it. And guess what? Coming up after the break, we're going to send Natalie out into the neighborhood, find something else that's pretty cool.
Welcome back to our neighborhood show, all about neighborhoods that are really on the rise. We're back here at the St. Clair Superior neighborhood at Artefino with Karen. Karen, the place itself is just wonderful. You walk in here and you're greeted by a lot of great art. And is it all from local artists?
Yes, we predominantly do feature local artists, including artists that live here or work here in this building.
So the building itself, it's been here for years and years, decades I'm sure, but you recently, within the beginning of the decade, transformed this.
Yes, this was Cleveland's first legally zoned live, work, loft building, and we renovated it into 80 apartments in 2001.
And there's a lot of artists that live in this building. They have their actual shops here that they're utilizing. So it's really all about the arts, and you brought that into this eating space as well then too.
We have. We are very fortunate. All the sandwiches here at Artefino are named after artists, some local artists as well as national and worldwide artists. And we do feature local art, local jewelry, and local food as much as we possibly can.
Oh, so let's dive into the food here, because I know watching them make these sandwiches, they just look so mouth-watering. This looks like a veggie sandwich.
It is. It's our signature veggie melt.
What's in there?
Okay, so that is our typical veggie melt. We do have our bread is from Orlando Bakery. We do utilize Orlando for our bread supplier. We have artichokes, roasted red peppers, olives, black olives, onions, and a mixture of cheeses.
I'm sure that's a hit. This one also has to be a hit, just by the looks of it.
Okay, that is our most popular sandwich, and that is our Cubano. And so that's a typical Cuban sandwich. We make our own house-made chipotle mayo. We have then a pickled tomato, a marinated pork, salami, and ham.
Now, the desserts, when you look in over here at the counter, they're all mouth-watering, and you just brought a little sampling for us. The brownies look to die for.
The brownies are one of our biggest sellers, and they are made with Ghirardelli chocolate.
Ooh, okay.
We have our lemon bars, and then we have something a little more health conscious. These are called energy bites, and they are made without refined sugar.
So this is great. You probably, the time of day that we're here, there's probably people bustling in and out, I'm sure, when it comes to lunchtime, but you're open until what time of day?
We're open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday, and then 10 to 2 on Saturdays.
So when people come in, I think they really can just sit down and almost relax and enjoy the atmosphere around them. I mean, is that what you were hoping to do?
That is what we were hoping to do, and we do try to highlight as much as we can things that are going on in the neighborhood. This is really a mecca for a lot of people to come and congregate, meet other people in the neighborhood, as well as have meetings. It's a very convenient location to have meetings. We have free parking here, and so it's a great location just east of downtown.
So you can come in, get a great bite to eat, and then you can also purchase, say, a painting, a picture off the wall, some jewelry, a t-shirt like the one you're wearing.
Exactly.
It's a one-stop shop for you.
It is, exactly, and our cards are big sellers, especially for those last-minute gifts that people buy.
And I know certain times of the year, also at night, this is a great neighborhood to come to.
It is. We are not open in the evenings now, but the St. Clair Superior neighborhood is starting a night markets, and last year was the first year, and it's going to be the final Friday of the summer months, and it will be a night market with hundreds of vendors and entertainment, live entertainment, a great, great family-friendly event.
I'm sure you're so happy. You've been here for so long, so you're really happy, I'm sure, to see all of this come to fruition in this great part of town.
We are absolutely thrilled. We're thrilled to see so much happening in this area.
Well, I know that we're close enough to Fox 8, so I know I will be back a lot more often now that I know these great sandwiches are here. So I'm going to start nibbling on one of these, and I'm going to send you, after the break, to Slavic Village.
Are you ready for another great Cleveland neighborhood? You're going to love this one. Welcome back to New Day, Cleveland. This one's located right off of I-77 between Fleet and Harvard. It's called Slavic Village, one of the oldest ethnic neighborhoods. And there's some great tasty treats in there. In fact, we're going to visit one that was established 100 years ago. Well, I founded R&K Sausage, and Kathy, I think maybe I came here for a big birthday party, maybe, right? How long have you guys been here?
We're going to be 100 years next year. We started the business in, well, not me, but my great-grandfather in 1917.
So are you the R or the K part of this?
We are the R part of it. That was my great-grandfather's last name, Radecki, which is my mother's maiden name.
Mm-hmm. I remember the name because my dad used to bring me here. My dad grew up in the Fleet Avenue area.
Okay.
Polish guy, yeah, how about that? I see some pictures up here. So these people up here, one of the originals in here?
This is Joseph Radecki. He started the business in 1917. He passed it on to his son, who is my grandfather, Casey Radecki, along with his brother, Chester. So Casey and Chester ran it for many years. And then my mother acquired the business. So this is my mother, Mary Radecki Archacki.
All right.
And from there, my brothers, Marty, Chris, and there I am, became the fourth generation owners.
Fantastic. Speaking about generations, I'm staying here, and this lady back here in the corner, she comes in and she's coming in here. She came from another community nearby because she's picking up all this stuff from RNK because that's what her kids like, because she used to serve it all the time. So people come from far and wide to buy your sausage.
They keep coming back. A lot of people have moved out of the neighborhood and moved out of the state. When they come back in town for holidays, they make it a point to get here and get our smokies, our kibasi, because they say there's nowhere else they can get our stuff in the United States.
Okay, so are you like smoked kibasi or fresh kibasi? Which one? What's your favorite?
Partial to the smoked.
To the smoked. For me, it's always back and forth like that. Like my dad would always get half fresh and half smoked.
Oh yeah, we eat both, so.
I saw in here too. Like this is a cool little menu here because you got all kinds of great stuff. I know you cater a lot of events, but we're talking about you sell lunches and dinners here. You got the smokies. I mean, you got all kinds of crazy food here.
We do. We do. This is our retail part of the business. This picks up at the holidays. We keep it open year round. But this isn't our bread and butter. We are a wholesale producer of smokies, which is our big seller.
But we have all different flavors of smokies. So smokies is like maybe the backbone of the business now, huh?
It really is, because we have a lot of wholesalers that go out and distribute it across the Northeast Ohio region. So yeah, this is our bread and butter. And then our catering also, we do a lot of catering for graduations, showers, and we do some weddings here and there. But our biggest catering jobs are funerals. We do funeral luncheons.
I saw something too my dad used to talk about, charnina.
Charnina.
Yes.
My mother comes in and makes it. She has taught one of my workers to make it, who actually has been with us for many years. So yeah, that comes around every once in a while. We make it.
It's based on sort of like Polish ethnicity then.
It is, it is.
Don't forget, it's called RNK Sausage. What street are we on?
We are on Harvard Avenue, 7700 Harvard Avenue in Slavic Village.
In Slavic Village. And
Yes.
speaking of great places to go, why don't we head over to Waterloo? You'll find Natalie.
Welcome to the Waterloo Arts District, right in between I-90 and Lake Erie on Cleveland's east side of town. This is the place to be the first Friday of every month. It's called Walk All Over Waterloo, so you can really explore the area that's made up of musicians, photographers, and designers. In fact, I'm gonna go meet one right now. If you're looking for a custom piece, you gotta come here to Drew Christine Fabrics and Design. This is the one and only Drew. So nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you also.
So you're right here in the heart of the Waterloo Arts District. How long have you been here?
I'll be here 2 years in October. So I've had a shop in Cleveland Heights before, and I moved on down. So it's been a very good experience.
Well, and you are just a busy beaver, I must say, so everything that you sell here is custom made.
Probably 75% of the things I make are sell are custom. My custom clientele takes up a lot of my, different things, and then I sell clothes already made in the shop also. Vintage, I sell fabric, accessories, but most of the clothing, yes, I do make them.
You create yourself. And we get a first-hand look with a little fashion show up here of some of her designs. We're gonna start with your first lovely model.
And this is Elena.
Now, what is Elena wearing?
Elena, what I did today was show a lot of the trends coming in for the upcoming season. So they're doing the lingerie looks. So she's doing the sheer, lace sheer blouse, and also the paper bag waist pants, which are very conscious for that waistline, but it's a paper bag waist pant with the lace top. And then we're doing the lingerie type look, is sheer. And that's also a vintage lace that I carry in my shop as well.
I love this next look you have.
Yes, it's a play on the African prints that's coming out right now. So a lot of people are doing the dashiki print. It comes in a lot of different colors. We're doing a lot of versatile looks besides just the traditional dashiki. So I sell those in my shop as well in different colors by the yard, or customers come in and pick something off the rack and I make it for them. So, and this is a suit that I did. So it's the blazer with the fitted skirt. So you can do the blazer with some jeans. It's a very versatile look.
This color is to die for.
Yes. Also, another one of the great things coming in for this coming season is the hot pink. You'll see a lot of orange, you'll see a lot of blues. So this is one of my dresses. Her name is Octavia. So she's a tie neck. She has side pockets. So the pockets, ma'am.
Ooh, the side pockets too. I love
Everybody
that.
loves the pockets. All women love the pockets. So I try to incorporate pockets and ties in a lot of my garments because it helps with the fit and it's just functional. You can throw your lipstick, your phone, all kind of different things in there.
Now this look is fun.
Yes, it's another one of the trends coming in for the upcoming season. So you'll see a lot of lightweight denim. So this is the skirt that I've been selling a lot of. It's one of my customers' favorites called the Creed. So she also has side pockets, and then we did a matching top to go with it. So it's a ruffle top. We're showing a lot of the midriffs this season, so ladies get ready. But this is one of my favorite looks.
So how does the process work then when a woman comes in here and wants to have you design something for her?
My custom clientele, I do men and women and children. They call me for an appointment. They come in, we talk about fabrics, we talk about the design, when they need the garment. I special order fabrics in here, so this is a one-stop shop. You come in, pick out your fabric, pick out your buttons, pick out anything, and you're good to go. I sketch, so it's pretty much a one-stop shop in here.
Wow, okay, so you do the men and the children too.
I do men, children, dogs, babies.
Speaking of dogs, Oscar, come here real quick. When you come into the store, you will also be greeted by
Oscar,
your pet Oscar. Come here, Oscar. Come say hi to the camera. Look at this little fur ball. I just love him. So not only do you get to come in here, because you want to come and probably stay a little bit, because it's not going to be a quick.
Never a short trip in here. People come and we drink water and coffee and have a really good time. So yeah, it's never a short visit in here, never.
I love it. Drew Christine, Fabrics and Design, right here in the Waterloo Arts District. And we are going to be back from the district right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Waterloo Arts District. We have one more stop for you, and it's just across the street. It's Pizza for the People at Citizen Pie.
So when we came up with the name, we came up with the tagline, Pizza for the People. But without a pizziolo, without somebody who I think is a pizza savant and somebody who is so incredibly talented and devoted. You know, you can have the oven, you can have the flour, but you need the guy, and we had the best guy. Ordering.
I was obsessed with the pizza all my life. I was regular chef and always was in love with the pizza. And pizza was one of my childhood favorite food, and all my life I tried to make it better and better and better every day. We make Neapolitan style pizza. Doesn't mean it's 100% Neapolitan, it's more Neapolitan inspired. This is just a wood-fired pizza. This oven came all the way from Naples, Italy, where the first pizza was born. It's all hand-made from volcanic soil of Vesuvius Mountain. It's designed specially to cook pizzas only, and I think it's the best tool for this job. We're trying to source as much local as possible, but the main focus is it's all about the taste. My favorite probably margarita pizza because that's the classic, but I like them all. It depends what you're in the mood for. First, before we make pizza, we want to make sure our oven is right. We don't have a knob to turn up and down, so make sure fire is hot. Our dough is very simple. We use naturally risen dough. By naturally, I mean we use only power of sourdough, naturally leavening, no commercial Easter. 3 ingredients in our dough: flour, salt, and water. It all gets risen room temperature only. Classic margarita gets dressed only with the red sauce, basil, and fresh mozzarella. We use about 3 ounces of cheese per pizza. Ideally, margarita has to be cooked anywhere between 60 and 90 seconds. Crust has to cook, sauce has to evaporate, cheese has to melt, and that's it. We're gonna use turning peel. Once the crust will start to rise, we're gonna turn it side, which is facing the fire right now, away from the fire for the even cooking. We're halfway there. We serve only pizza here. I always wanted to focus only one thing and make it right versus half a dozen things and making just mediocre. We serve only pizza and 2 desserts here. I just wanted to make better pizza every day and trying to make better and better, and right now we're willing to share that with the world.
Citizen Pie is right here along Waterloo. And let me tell you a little bit of advice. You can go to citizenpie.com before you head out because they make their dough fresh every single day, and there's a little meter on their website that lets you know how much dough they have left. Okay, I'm sending you uptown to meet David.
Welcome to a neighborhood most of us know as University Circle. That's right, the home of many world-class institutions. Well, now they've sort of renamed it. They're calling it Uptown. As a matter of fact, the New York Times says it's the new downtown. So I say, let's start with something modern. You've seen that crazy building at the base of Mayfield Hill at Euclid in Uptown or University Circle. It's called MoCA, which means Museum of Contemporary Art. Right, Deidre?
That's right.
And I got Deidre here, and I got to tell you, you walk in this building, and there are interesting things everywhere you look. And I was here a couple years ago, but I don't see anything that I saw here before.
Right. At MoCA, we are a non-collecting institution, so basically that means that we completely transform from the ground up 3 times a year. We have 3 distinct seasons, and we bring in fresh exhibitions to provide our visitors with new experiences in the winter, spring, then into summertime, and then also in the fall.
So if you really love this place, it's a good idea to get a membership, and that way you only pay the admission one time.
Absolutely. Getting a membership gives you all types of great perks, access to meet artists in exclusive settings. You'll be among the first to see our exhibitions, and you get wonderful discounts on attending our programs for adults and for youth, and also free admission to the museum.
Now we're on 4 floors. This is the 4th floor. And for people who don't know what contemporary art is, because everyone has a different idea what it might be, like what makes this contemporary art and what is this we're looking at?
We're looking at a painting by Lynette Yadom-Boakye, and this painting, well, Lynette, she is a London-based artist of Ghanaian descent. And she creates amazing portraitures. She kind of does it in an amazing fashion because she paints them in a very speedy approach, and almost like she completes each painting in a day.
So that's a pretty good quick explanation. So that was the speedy explanation, right?
Right.
Okay,
I could go into more.
And then I look over here, and there's a lot of space on this 4th floor. This looks like a hairball.
It does. A very elaborate and beautiful hairball by an artist named Valerie Blass.
Here's another thing that's very cool. Look at this. I was looking at this picture, and from out there it looked like a flat picture, but this thing it's a little padded, isn't it?
It is, it is.
It's upholstery.
It is.
And one of my favorites, I mean, I've only been here a few minutes, but happens to be, it looks like a rock with an arm sticking out of it.
Yes, that is a sculpture by Valerie Blass as well. She created the arm out of a cast of someone's arm.
It looks like a real arm.
It does.
I noticed when I came in the building on the 1st floor, there's a big video screen and chairs sitting there. So there are programs that continue all the time here.
Right, right. Our ground floor is called Gun Commons, and that's where we have all of our public programs for the most part, whether it's performances or artist talks or parties of different kinds. Also, the ground floor is always free and open to the public, so it's a place where you can come and spend time, lounge.
And you can always sneak into that store I was saying is so cool.
The store is wonderful. It's really hard working in this building sometime and not going into the store because there's some amazing gifts in there.
I like the crazy square candles. There's a rectangular tall candle. It's like 20 bucks for a candle, but it's so cool. I really like it. So there's a lot of great stuff here. And like I said, we're on the 4th floor. That's the 1st floor. What's in the middle of the museum?
The 3rd floor is our administrative office, so that's where all of our planning.
That's where you hang out.
That's where I hang out. And then on our 2nd floor, we have another gallery, the Lewis Gallery, and that's where we have a number of other exhibitions on view.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I
Thank you.
love MoCA Museum of Contemporary Art. It's at the base of Mayfield, right on Euclid in Uptown, also called University Circle. And we're going to have a little bit more right after the break.
Welcome back. We have time for just one more stop here in Uptown. Up next, it's Ninja City. I've had lunch here before. Let me tell you, you are going to be very, very happy.
My partner Dylan and I came up with something that's a little bit more of like a casual bar cafe kind of a vibe, but with a lot of the same food. So this is much less of an Asian restaurant, whereas, you know, my Bach restaurant in Tremont. It's much more of like an Asian bistro. This is more of like a casual bar cafe with a little bit of Asian themed street food. Got a little egg here. Okay, that's our steak and egg rice bowl. And basically the menu is a combination of some authentic Asian dishes that we do at the other restaurant, like traditional Vietnamese pho and banh mi sandwiches, steamed buns, a lot of which you can kind of pick your own protein. So a lot of our menu is kind of, you pick like a rice bowl or a noodle bowl, then you pick whatever meat you want. So we're gonna do some pork now. Some of it's gonna go on a rice bowl I'm gonna build, and then some of it's gonna be for a banh mi sandwich that we're about to sell to go. But then on the flip side too, with our menu here, we have a little bit more just casual bar type food as well. We do a lot of wings, burgers, quesadillas, things like that. Thank you. Yeah, the key is really high heat. That's why it tastes so different than when you cook in like a frying pan. It's really the way the heat is transferred throughout. You have like a real center of heat right in the center, rather than like a frying pan where most it's like a flat surface. So you kind of use that heat to your advantage, because there are times when you really want to sear the meat, so you're going to want to get right in the center, versus other times when you want to just kind of keep stir frying the meat and let it cook through. So really, as you like cook on a wok for a really long time, you just kind of get to know those zones of heat. Also, just the sheer heat of it is just something you can't get, in a frying pan without burning. So the way the heat is just transferred throughout the wok, really, it's really what makes the protein taste different when you cook on it. Fresh ground lemongrass, fresh minced garlic. You can obviously tell your server what you want, but we also like having it feel like, you're kind of participating in like a choose your own adventure kind of a thing. A little bit of hoisin sauce here. When we put together the menu, we wanted to have sort of two options, like traditional entrees, like sandwiches, noodle bowls, rice bowls. But, at the Bach restaurant in Tremont, we have so many appetizers and kind of little items that people like, so we thought it would be fun to offer a bento box where you essentially, rather than having to commit to like a big entree, you can kind of have like 3 wings, 3 dumplings, a little side of soup. So it's kind of like, taking that kind of interactive, choose your own adventure thing to the next, level with not only being able to customize the dish, but also being able to say, hey, I want a lunch today that, I just have a few dumplings, a few, couple spring rolls, a little cup of soup, rather than having to get like 1 entree. So people tend to really like that. It's really fun, change it up. Sometimes you just want a little bit of something, but you don't want to have to get like a whole dish or something. So that's perfect for that. So people really like our bento box options. All right, there's a little bit of beef here, down in the heat. A little bit of ground lemongrass, minced garlic. These are gonna cook real fast. If you look at the decor and the kind of music we're doing, we're trying to be kind of like a very lighthearted, fun, kind of comic book feel. So, we're children of the 80s and, who didn't want to be a ninja, So most things have a bit of a spin, even like our burgers. We make our own fresh burger patties. Those have a little Chinese 5-spice in them, and also, we just thought that given the type of food we're doing, quick, casual, we really wanted an area with a lot of foot traffic. And Uptown just obviously, it's growing like crazy right now, so we thought it'd be a perfect time to get involved.
Ninja City is right here on Euclid Avenue, right next to University Circle. Well, that does it. We have taken you to 5 different emerging neighborhoods in and around Cleveland. But, we've only shown you a couple places in each, so it's your job now to get out and explore, and then let us know what you think. Send us your thoughts on Facebook, and you can always email us too to let us know the kind of experiences you had when you were out and about in these wonderful places. I'm Natalie Hervick, and I'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland.